Since Magic the Gathering came out in 1993, I believe it was, or 94, it has very, very much dominated the card games industry. You know, it is really huge. And an awful lot of people measure all the card games based on Magic the Gathering. That is until now. Welcome, Lords of War. Lords of War is a game that was published 2 years ago. It has already won some accolades at the UK Games Expo, and it's an epic battle between two people. Is it any good? Well, I'm gonna let you know. Welcome to the GMS Magazine review videos. In this video review, we're going to take a look at Lords of War. This is a game that came to my attention a couple of years ago, and it's actually very, very, very good. The basic game is for two people. So far, 7 decks have been produced, 3 with 2 armies each, and 1 extra deck, which provides weather and terrain that you can use to make the battle a little bit more interesting. The way the game plays is really, at its core, extremely simple. Every deck of cards, 36 of them, contains your general, commanders, veterans, elite soldiers, etc. And in a nutshell, each one of them has a power attack, or attack power, that is represented in the arrows that are placed around the cards. So, for example, in this particular case, we have Ozul the Putrid, which is a friendly looking fellow from the undead army, and it does 3 points of damage to the sides, in the corners a point of damage, to the front 2 points of damage, back corners 1 point of damage, and another 2 points of damage, and 5, that is its defense. In order to be able to be eliminated from the game, the opponent has to inflict 6 points of damage or more in order to take this card out. Every round, each player will be placing a card on top of this grid, which, by the way, I have it the wrong way around. The shorter side should be looking at me, but for camera purposes, that's how it has to be. The production value of the game is good enough. The cards do withstand quite a lot of tear and wear, and it is beautifully printed. And although the artwork is not for everybody, but it is whimsical enough that younger players will want to play with it. Let me show you a few of the cards. We want to play with it because it's not horrifically scary, but it conveys and portrays very, very well what the creatures that you're playing with do. Now, obviously, the undead is one of the scariest of all the decks. The Templars are an awful lot more kind of harmless. It's kind of strange to feel that this deck, the first card in here, the Templar Longbow, it looks a little bit like me wearing a bandana. So I'm wondering what the designers were thinking about, but that's by the by, never mind. Also, as you can see here, some of the cards have a ranged attack. That means that they can inflict the number of points of damage based on the icon and any one of the points or the places in the grid in front of them. Every round, each player will have a hand of 6, will place one of these cards on the table, and then refresh by taking from the rest of the deck. There are some restrictions as to where you can put your units or not. For example, if I have this unit Ozul the Putrid here, and I wanted to place anything, and my enemy is here, the undead will need to place a round that has to be adjacent to an enemy unit, unless it's a ranged attack in which case it can be placed anywhere around, adjacent to an ally unit. The second phase is taking a look and see how many points of damage you're inflicting upon all your enemies, and that happens simultaneously. So it is quite common, just like it would happen in a real battle, that more than one enemy will eliminate each other. The first player to eliminate either 20 cards, as in 20 enemies from the enemy, or 4 out of the 6 commanders that come in each deck is the winner. Simple as that. If you eliminate the general, each army has a general, the army goes into a little bit of disarray and the player gets to go again. It gets an extra round. That doesn't happen if both generals are dismissed at the same time. It is very, very simple. Yes, some cards do have some special abilities. For example, a berserker will be able to move into the area of an enemy that just was eliminated and keep fighting. Some cards will be able to move backwards and forwards. So there are a little bit of things that you can do to make the game a bit more interesting. But even at its basic, and literally with what I've told you, you can already play. It's a very, very simple game. Even at its basics, the amount of strategy that you can put on top of this game is absolutely stunning. Really, really outstanding. Furthermore, all the decks have been devised and designed so they can be interchangeable. So if you wanted to play, for example, orcs versus undead or dwarves versus templars, that would be absolutely fine and it wouldn't break the game or unbalance it at all. If you get to know the decks really well, you could create your own deck based on different decks. So for example, you could have the dwarf general with 3 undead commanders and another 3 Templar commanders, and then set up the structure that way and fight with somebody using that army. It would make things a little bit more complex, but it can be done indeed. I know the designers don't like it when people refer to this game in this way, but it can get a little bit chessy. It truly has that amount of depth and strategic complexity. And although it may feel when you played once that well, it's just another game, when you play again and you begin to see what cards can do and how placing it in a different way and how you can devise your own strategy, the game begins to shine, and it really, really does. And tournaments are just absolutely fantastically hilarious. They're really, really good fun. The rules out of the box is just that. 2 pages with some advice and some translation. It really is a very, very simple game that you can squeeze an awful lot of gaming from. And it should be absolutely everywhere. There is a 4-player gaming mode, but it makes things a little bit longer because 2 players have to work together as a team. So it adds an element of cooperation, but it also enhances and increases the gameplay. The game is meant to last between 30 and 45 minutes. It can be a little bit longer. And if you want a really, really, really hardcore experience, you can play with the hand of 6 cards visible to your opponent, so they can try to foresee what you can do with those cards. That is really hardcore, very hardcore, but it can be really good fun as well. I genuinely cannot recommend this game enough. It retails at a very, very reasonable price, which is absolutely fantastic. There are some more decks coming through, and although it is collectible in the sense that you can gather all the armies, it's actually very affordable and it's worth doing it. It's not collectible in the sense that you're going to get different cards with different decks. Every single deck is the same. So it's a matter of just mixing what decks you want to have. Also, you can get better mats. The mat is just paper, and although it does the trick, I have to say the vinyl mats that you can buy are just absolutely glorious to play with. So they are very, very recommended. Have a go. This game will send you back about, I don't know, 12, 13 pounds maybe, something like that. It's not expensive. and I promise you it is very, very enjoyable indeed. Hope that you will get it, and do let me know what you think about the game, because I very much look forward to seeing what other people's experiences of the game they are. Me, I am a fan for life. That's all I have to say. So, thank you very much indeed for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.